Welcome to our gender reveal video. And I know you're going, but Travis, we already saw the child being born. We know the gender. Well, there was a reason we kept it from you guys. And the good reason was, well, we wanted it to be a surprise. So think of this more as a gender reveal reaction video. And we're going to give you some thoughts and some insight. Now, to give you a little background, we talked to my dad, and he said that we really should wait to find out the gender when the child's born. It'll be part of the surprise. You don't want to ruin the surprise and have it be part of the process. And we also talked to a friend of mine from high school that has 3 kids, and he said for his first child, they knew in advance the gender of their baby, but for the other 2, they waited to find out till the birth, and he said it's much better just to wait and have it be part of the surprise. That's a better way to do it. So that's what we were gonna do, but we actually found out the gender by accident prior to the birth. And Imabel, you actually wanted to know the birth in advance.
Yes, I wanted to know the gender in advance so we will know what kind or color of clothes we needed to buy.
And you'd been praying for a baby too, right? A baby boy.
Yes, my specific prayer to God was for us to have a little boy, but I also said if you want us to have a girl, that's fine. But he answered our prayer.
It was actually my prayer too. There's certain things that you can do to try and influence the likelihood of whatever gender you want to have. And we tried a couple of those things for a couple months. And without giving you the details, the graphic details of what they are, which is number 1, it's about specific timing for whatever gender you want to do. And then there's some other things that go into it. So we did that for a couple months, but what I found is that really takes the spontaneity out of it. It takes the romance out of it. It really takes the fun of it out of it if you're trying to focus on specific things you got to do at a very specific time. So I decided, well, let's just kind of throw that out the window. Let's just pray and hope for what we're desiring and just have fun with it. I think that's very important. Anytime you're going to make a baby, I think part of it should be having fun making that baby. Not only making the baby with love, but with that sense of fun and sometimes spontaneity and romance. So if you try and be too specific, and maybe if you've had a couple kids but you still don't have the gender you want, maybe then you should try and do those specific things with the timing and all that other stuff. But I wanted a boy too, and we found out by accident. I don't know if the doctor wasn't informed that we didn't want to know.
By the assisting doctor.
Well, then it just came out by accident.
It's a boy. I'm sorry.
I guess now we know.
I slipped.
I think it was God's way.
Yeah. You know, I don't usually tell the gender. I don't usually tell the gender.
And what did you think when he blurted out the gender of the baby?
Well, I was really happy because all the while I was fine with you and mom and dad making it a secret until I give birth. But when the doctor said it by mistake, I was like, yay! I was laughing, and I don't know what he exactly felt, but I was happy. And just to add this, somehow I already knew he was gonna be a little boy because I dreamt of it. In my dream, I saw Saki walking, holding hands with a little boy, and I just had that feeling, strong feeling in my dreams that was him. That was our baby in my tummy.
And for me, yeah, it does come in a way ruin the surprise, but I was a total surprise since I guess we weren't expecting him to tell us the gender, but I couldn't be angry. That's the best news I've ever had in my life. It was exactly what I wanted, exactly what I'd been hoping and praying for. And how can you be angry at someone that gives you the best news you've ever heard? And actually, I'm so happy that we did know in advance. I'm not recommending that you do this. You probably should just wait till birth and find out the surprise. But in our case, when you see the birth video, you see me being very nervous, full of anxiety. Now, those weren't just normal fatherly jitters of having a baby. He came a bit earlier than we expected, so I had a real legitimate concern for the health of my child. And since I had so much anxiety and so much stress when he was being born, thinking about all that other stuff, I couldn't have enjoyed the surprise of having a son at that point, I think anyways. So it was all a blessing in disguise. And now that we have this boy, what do you have to say?
I'm actually speechless. I'm just so happy, and I'm forever thankful to God for him.
I have to say that ever since I got the news that I was going to have a boy, every time I would think of it, it'd bring a smile to my face, and I was so happy. And now that we got the boy out of the way, for future children, I'm not going to worry definitely about it, but I suppose I wouldn't mind having another son, because I look at it this way. My parents had a couple boys, but me and my brother, we're so different from each other, and we're complete opposites, that we bring different things to the world and different things to the family. When my parents had me, actually, funny enough, they wanted to have a girl. But I think ultimately, in the long run, they were very happy that I turned out a boy, because like I said, I'm so different than my brother. So that's also something for you to consider. Sometimes maybe you don't get the gender that you want right away, but that can be a blessing in disguise too, because later down the road, years later maybe, you kind of find out the reason for it. So we're just so happy to have Cade Bronson. We're so happy he's a boy, and if he does have a girl next, I'm sure that'll be a great experience too, because it's one thing to have a son. You're so happy, men always want sons, because it's not only your legacy, but there's a lot that you can teach and hand down. And if you have a girl, a lot of my knowledge would probably be wasted. The things that I'm good at, the things that I know how to do, I might not be able to pass down. But it definitely takes the pressure off having this guy. And if he does have a daughter, if we do have a daughter next, it's kind of like my dad says, he can be her protector. And that's kind of a good dynamic, just like my dad and his older brother, they were protectors to their 3 sisters. And whatever comes next, we're going to be very happy. But this is our thoughts on it, on the process. We think that, at least I think, it's probably better to wait. But we're also so happy that it worked out this way. And I do think that it worked out for the better this way. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out the other videos with Cade Bronson, and you can see his birth video, and we have some other good videos for you and a lot more good stuff to come.
What was it, a girl or a boy?
What were you hoping for?
A healthy one.
Well, I think we got
A healthy one with a full head of black hair that was half Imabel and half Travis. That's what I was looking forward to.
What do you think it was? What were you expecting?
I was expecting a boy.
It was a boy.
How many
Boy.
pounds and
He was named after his grandpa, right? No.
what's his name?
His name's Cade Bronson Craft.
I like
Okay.
that.